Hi guys, this is Tulin. Thanks for checking on this video. I haven't uploaded a video recently, so sorry about that, but I have got around to it now. I've recently just moved in with my sister, hence a different background. But in this video, I'm going to talk about why we take things personally and how not to. Because we all take things personally in today's world. And as social beings, in one way or another, we define who we are by and through our relationships and even complete strangers. So I'm going to bring some light and perspective into this. Ultimately, you are letting someone else outside of you have the power to tell you who you are, instead of relying on what you know to be true about yourself. Taking things personally is a sign of low self-esteem, because if someone told you something but you knew deep down it wasn't true, then why would it bother you in the first place? You know, we're so sure of ourselves, but in a negative way. And we take things personally because we might be sensitive to people's actions, people's words, and we interpret them, but in a negative way. So it makes you feel as though something is wrong with you. It makes you feel as though you're inadequate, and it goes against what you believe to be true about yourself. It can make you feel angry and makes you feel disempowered, worsens your self-esteem, but also it always makes you feel as though you're doing something wrong, and this can lead to anxiety or even depression, because you're overthinking, you're overanalyzing yourself, or is it true what they said? And you overthink scenarios and conversations. We get hurt, neglected, offended, betrayed by taking things personally. And in romantic relationships, when there's another person involved that's close to us, then we're caught in this conflict between the need to have that someone in our lives, but also caught with justifying our own needs. So we're in this conflict of weighing out these two options, and I'll explain how you can actually stop taking that personally. Because basically in these moments we always think it's the other person's fault. They're the one to blame, they're responsible for how I feel. They're the one to blame, they make you feel a certain way. That's basically the ego speaking, because we always want other people to take us into consideration. The ego always wants to be understood, heard, acknowledged. So we see ourselves in this very egocentrical mind, unless we don't realize that we're doing it. And another branch that I'm going to go into is basically a common pattern in the human mind, which is personalization, which is assuming personal responsibility for events that you have little or no control over. So, for example, you might be at home, your girlfriend or boyfriend comes home from work and is short with you or makes snarky comments. Now, what you do is that you take personal responsibility for how he is, thinking that you must have done something wrong. And that's a form of self-blame, thinking that you always do something wrong. And that's seeing that, the world is happening not just to you, but because of you. And that can lead to powerlessness and anxiety and depression again. So we perceive reality inaccurately because we evolve ourselves in the center of it, when really everything happens for us or it happens through you. So I'm going to explain how you can not take things personally and allow it to happen through you and not always to you. First one is investigating your thoughts. So this is divided in your thoughts, the facts, and reframed thoughts. Now, your thought is, he or she is unhappy, I must have done something wrong. The fact is, he or she has been working 10 hours a day, managing 20 people, and also another fact, which is, we're very happy in the relationship, nothing is wrong, we communicate well. And the reframed thought is, if there's something wrong with her, I might have done something, but let me reevaluate the situation. Let me ask and let's figure it out, instead of assuming that she is like this, I must have done something wrong. And then it goes back and forth in this unnecessary conflict. So you have your thoughts, which you don't associate with the facts, and then the reframed thoughts. So this basically leads to the second one, which is realize that it's not always about you, and it's not always about me, and the whole world doesn't revolve around you or me, unfortunately. So never jump to conclusions. And, of course, you will always have that first initial reaction, emotional reaction to something, but don't associate with that thought. And reevaluate for what you believe to be true, because you never know what is going on in someone else's world. Everybody has their own world, their own problems, their own thought, behavioral patterns, their own emotions. You can't control their reactions or their thoughts, but you can control yours, and that is your power. So always put yourself in someone else's shoes just for a few seconds, and don't make those thoughts personal. Don't associate with them. Think of the facts and then reframe that thought. Third and the last one is empathize with yourself or speak up. Express it and communicate it to the other person without blaming them and becoming vulnerable. No one likes to become vulnerable, but once people do and they speak up, then it brings a peace of mind and things get resolved. And if you don't say anything, then how will that other person know how you're feeling or thinking? And it's only going to make yourself more angry, because you're going to think, oh, they just don't get it, when really they can't read your mind. They have their own little world going on, you have your own world going on, and if you don't talk about it, then nothing will get resolved. And don't take things personally, obviously the whole point of the video, because if you can't completely cut them out from your life, then change the nature of the relationship or limit the relationship. And remember when things are not worth your time or energy, and just move on and realize this is who you are, this is how I feel, and then just move on from that situation or person or event. So I'm going to end it off here. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I've changed your perspective on why we take things personally and how not to, and it will just bring you a sense of peace and calmness, because you realize that maybe this is why you've been feeling a certain way in a relationship, or maybe at work. So hopefully this video has helped you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much. Inwards and outwards. See you on the other side.